but they've come out with something which is game changing, right? And has taken all of the American companies, OpenAI, a lot of the other companies by such a big shock, right? Hi guys, and welcome to our latest episode of Pioneers Pathway podcast. I'm Liam Villani. We've already met, and I'm sure you already know quite a bit about me. But I'm joined today by my amazing co-host, Sharia. How are you doing, Sharia?
Oh, good, Liam. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. So today we're just going to have a quick little episode. We wanted to set the stage for something which has been quite a bit of headlines recently, right? OpenAI, DeepSeek, Elon Musk. It's all sort of a big tangle of different news stories, different announcements, different things going on, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'm pretty sure, well, for me at least, because of the time difference, I remember waking up one day and to seeing, a huge decline in my investments, like a lot of people. And, it came as a shock. But when I opened the news, it was, quite surprising to read about a new company, DeepSeek, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what we're going to talk about today. And,
yeah.
it all
No,
just
no,
came out
it's
of nowhere, hasn't it?
It is. It is. It is. Nobody really heard about this company before. They've been very secretive, as a lot of companies are in China. They're very secretive. But they've come out with something which is game changing, right? And has taken all of the American companies, OpenAI, a lot of the other companies by such a big shock, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because some of these guys had sky high valuations. I think OpenAI was valued at $150 billion. And now you could just imagine what the impact of a
Yeah.
side project. And that's, it's basically caused the whole market to come crashing down, hasn't it?
It has. And I just remembered. So you remember. Oh, and it's always in my head. So the founder of DeepSeek is a guy called Liang Wenfeng. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But he was an interview with him, and one of the things he said was, "We're done following. It's time to lead." And it's quite a shock to everyone who kind of just knows the big players, ChatGPT, OpenAI, Twitter's AI systems, even Gemini, Copilot. Those are the main ones we all know about. But this isn't something that a few players are working on, right? It's everywhere, and there's some really unique products and things that we didn't even know about.
Well, look, first of all, my thoughts are, especially in the tech space, there's no such thing as a first move advantage. If you are later to the game, you learn from the mistakes of the people before you, and that's where you outshine. I think that's been the case recently in the last few years. And I think this is, no different to that, right? So DeepSeek would have obviously,
Yeah.
it was trained on OpenAI's model, in fact, they've openly admitted that. So it's obviously seen where the shortcomings of ChatGPT, and it's worked on it. It's massively improved. It's leveled up itself. So no, look, it's more about taking that's what's already in the market, working on it, improving it, and seeing the gap that's that exists.
And what do you think? So here's a question for you, because I've been thinking about it. What's the reaction? What do you think OpenAI are going to do? Do you think this is a competition they're willing to compete on? Are they going to come out with some new products, some new completely radical innovations, or do you think they're going to really struggle with this?
Well, I'm going to twist it on its head here. I'm going to spin it on you. What do you think they can do here?
Yes, yeah, that's very true, right? Innovation, transformation, and sort of developing those new products. It's not easy, right? And it's not something that happens overnight. Obviously, we don't know what's going on because their OpenAI will come out with their products, but they've got a massive R&D section, and you never know what's going on there. What I think they can do is refine their current products. They're going to come out with new tiers, new sort of offerings in that sense. What I think they need to see is where are the applications of what they're doing? AI technology. Where can we apply that? And you need to be more refined with where can they use that technology in daily life, in daily society, right? I know they're looking at new things with sort of government work. With there was a really interesting one about how OpenAI are doing some work with the NHS in the UK to get AI into medical centres, hospitals, things like that. I think it's more about looking at where we can use those offerings in practical places. The other thing is databases, right? There's a massive shortage of databases across the world, but especially in the US, and that is going to hold back their progress and how AI is used. So I think it's getting that foundations and the framework in place, and I think that's how they can move forward quickly.
No, I think you've raised a few interesting points there. My view is that when you're an innovator, sometimes you fail to see the limitations because what you've come up with is a completely unique idea, right? There's nothing you can benchmark it against. But now they have, a clear competitor who they can benchmark it against, right? It's Chinese. The Chinese will absolutely go all in, right? The Chinese government will absolutely support this venture.
And do you think just to interrupt you on that point, do you think they have an unfair advantage because the Chinese government will probably be bankrolling this, subsidizing this, and making sure this is a success? Do you think governments in the West are as active in this space?
Well, I don't know if I'd call it an unfair advantage, but advantage for sure, right? Because if your government is able to see, an opportunity and they're willing to, fund on it, then would you really call that unfair? It's absolutely an advantage, right? I mean, look, they always tend to heavily promote the industry is that they know that they are so far ahead in, right? So if you take EV car batteries and EV cars, China is so far ahead. Why? Because they recognize this early and they invested in it early, right? They saw this opportunity. Yeah. Let's go all in. Now they have this new opportunity and I'm sure they'll go all in on that. Now it's whether the Western governments have the same belief in themselves and they think, okay, we have so many things we can invest in. Do we really want to invest in AI? I mean, I know everyone says that they do, but do they really want to do it? That's the main thing that we need to answer.
No, that's really true. That's really true. I think this is quite there's a lot we can talk about here. And I think these topics will go over many conversations on our end, and then we don't actually know what's going to happen, right? Even in the next few weeks, Elon Musk might put in another offer for OpenAI. We don't know. It's very hard to predict, but I think this is definitely a conversation to delve deeper into. And to all our listeners out there, if you have any thoughts or if you want to come and have a chat about AI in your own relative spaces or what you're using it for, get in touch as well. That'd be really cool to speak to you as well. So was there any final remarks you wanted to say, Shariam, about AI, what's going on generally in the world?
Yeah, no, look, AI is a very interesting space and it's going to continue to evolve, right? It's not going to be something that's static. Technology is always something that moves forward exponentially, and this is no different. So I expect the same to continue for the next 5-10 years at the very minimum. What about you?
Yeah. No, I agree. This is a space which it's uncharted territory. It's like the discovery of oil and the railroads in the early 20th century, right? So you don't know what's going to happen. It's going to bring new frontiers, but hopefully we can progress in a positive way, and companies can work together because it's for the better good of all mankind that we work together, right? So yeah, let's see what happens. But it's interesting spaces, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So what have we got coming up in the next few episodes? I think we've got a couple of interviews, right? We won't go into who exactly, but I'm sure if our followers and listeners keep in touch with our socials, they'll find out near enough, right?
Yeah, no, look, absolutely. We are working on a few guests, but we have a few, episodes that we've already recorded, which are very interesting. I mean, we had one that we recorded recently to do with digital marketing. And I mean, that was one that was really interesting. There's lots of key takeaways, especially if you're, an aspiring entrepreneur or you do have your own, shop. So, obviously keep listening, keep, follow us on social media. Feel free to reach out to us as always. But for now, Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you for listening. See you later.